So interacting with lots of people, I always had this thing, like if, for example, why we have this education, we have education where we can grow much, but why we are not able to grow much in the education sector. So but it was all such a question at that time, like कि हाँ ठीक है, हो जाएगा. I was busy in my job, but when I came here as an and joined as an educator, became educator with a groups of school. My thing was like I found out that like the reason, like here we have a set syllabus like prescribed by the CBSE, whatever the board is, okay, and we are rigorously following that syllabus, and we are not thinking about what needs to be taught in today's environment. For example, if we talk before 17th century, Indian education was skill based education. That's why the India was called as golden sparrow, because you cannot become golden sparrow if you don't produce something which is needed by the world. Because if you are just talking about philosophy, you cannot sell philosophy. Maybe in the future we can sell philosophy, but that time we cannot sell philosophy. Definitely we must be having a skill based education that time. That's why we were prosperous. And after the British came, I really don't want to go okay what was the education model. But right now if we talk about the personalized education, see, if the government is not doing anything related regarding to their curriculum, their academics, because then the personalized education cannot become successful. First let me explain what the personalized education is for me. So the personalized education is an educational environment where the children are learning some skill based education. Definitely they can have 60 to 80 marks or whatever marks in math, science, or whatever, but they should be choosing one particular area where they are learning some skills, and they can turn those skills, they can monetize those skills. Because see, the whole purpose of education is making people enable having, so that they can earn money in the future. So the first of all, the personalized education should start with the financial literacy. How this learning is going to help you. So the personalized education should be based on their future career, their future skill base, where they can monetize their thing. So for me, this is a personalized learning should be like this. Apart from the academic subject, which they are definitely learning, but the school should also have a financial model so that the kids can go. Because if we see now, like if, for example, 20 years back, we used to see, yeah, कि 40 साल में लोग millionaire या billionaire बन रहे हैं. Then 15 years back we got to see like कि हाँ जी 30 years में लोग millionaire billionaire बन रहे हैं. But now if you're talking about today's world, the millennials are coming at the age of 15, 16. So now that's a big thing. Yes, the age has gone, there is a so much changes. There are so many changes in the world. Now the millennials are coming from such an age. Means definitely they must be having a different set of education. They must be having a different sets of parameter, because those students are not from Oxford, Harvard, Stanley. It's not like that, but their education pattern is very different. They got to know how they are, what जो भी वो skill सीख रहे हैं, how they monetize that skill, how they can improve the world with that skill, and that's how they can monetize that skill. So the personalized education environment should not be like कि हाँ जी हम बच्चों को अपनी उनके नीड के अकॉर्डिंग एक environment प्रोवाइड करें, बट उसकी यूटिलिटी ज़रूर दिमाग में रखें जो एक इंडियन मॉडल था 17th सेंचुरी से बिफोर. दैट्स ऑल.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ramanand Singhal sir, for your valuable view on the topic. Now, I would like to extend the same question to Mr. Girish Goyal. Sir, please share your views with us.
Yeah. Thank you, Harshita. Thank you for a wonderful introduction about me. That's not like that. And it's very difficult for me after Mr. Ram already covered most of the points. So very little left for me to share. But what I mean as on time, why this we are discussing about the personalized learning is, we all know that all the curriculum of CBSE or our state boards are same for all the students. Until the 12th class, the student don't have any option to choose his own have hobbies on all those interest areas. सब बच्चों को सेम बुक्स सेम पैटर्न पे पढ़ाई जा रही है, सेम चैप्टर वही फॉर्मूले रटाए जा रहे हैं, वही टेबल्स रटाई जा रही है लास्ट 30-40 ईयर्स। 32-35 ईयर्स पहले हमारी एजुकेशन पॉलिसी बनी थी, लास्ट ईयर गवर्नमेंट ने उसको चेंज किया है। आई होप कि वो बहुत जल्दी इम्प्लीमेंट होगी। सो पर्सनलाइज लर्निंग फॉर मी इज, हर स्टूडेंट का अपना एक अलग एक्यूमन है, अपना एक अलग अंडरस्टैंडिंग लेवल है। मे बी वन पर्सन इज गुड इन आर्ट्स, वन पर्सन इज गुड इन painting, one is in accounting, one is the biology. So instead of teaching all the subjects to all the students till 12th class or till 10th class, better if we can identify students interest area very young age, primary level or secondary primary level, and can fine tune the education delivery to the student. That is the personalized learning for me. I think maybe we can discuss in further this session how we can improve and what will be the benefit of that. But as on time, customized and individual course content, subject offerings are the personalized learning.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. And we have now Anita ma'am in between us. Ma'am, am I audible to you? No worries. Let us move on to Abhishek sir. Abhishek sir, please share your views, your opinion on this matter.
Sure, Harshita. Yes. So thank you for this opportunity and introducing me. So I'll start with the definition, as in this session will last for an hour or so. So I'll only go with the definition of personalized learning. So for example, a lot of people might be viewing this session. It is live on YouTube and Facebook. So there are a lot of people who are viewing this session. One person might be looking to this session in one manner, the other person might be looking and understanding things in some another manner. So personalized learning for me is where every individual, whether he is a child or he's a grown-up guy, has his own learning curve, has his own way of seeing things, seeing life in general. So when we talk about personalized learning in schools, in my honest opinion, personalized learning when it comes to schools is that where we impart education that matches the learning curve of every child. For example, there is a student who is the topper of the class and he is very good in a lot of things, his all concepts are clear. And then there is a student who comes at the very last. So he might be lacking in a lot of things. So why should we teach the very same things to both of them? Very different things should be taught to them. Moreover, there are few schools who create such batches where they teach good or extra content to these topper students, and they work on the weak students. So that is it for me. As in, personalized learning is the thing where, according to the learning curve of every child, the education is imparted to him.
Thank you so much, Abhishek sir. And through every student have its own learning capability, its own learning pace, and schools should do something for matching the pace. Anita ma'am, am I audible? Anita ma'am, I request you to unmute yourself. No worries. Let us move on to our next question. How personalized learning works? How personalized learning works? To start with, I would request Girish sir. Sir, please share your opinion.
So on this topic, I just want to add a little bit what Abhishek said is how we can impart personalized learning is just identify what are the students' capability and what is his grasping power, and fine tune the offering differently. So the topper may have a different curriculum or maybe different pace of learning. We may have a difficulty level, 5 level difficulty questions more, and all those things. Where the child who is not that much active in academy, so for him, we may have a different mechanism to teach. That is, I think, in my opinion, this personalized learning will work, and this will make a big difference in a student's life and his performance throughout the life.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Girish sir, for your valuable view. Now I would like to extend the same question to Ram Anand Singhal sir. Sir, please, what do you think about this?
First of all, Harshita, you can just call me Ram. It's like a bit long, Ram Anand Singhal. So you can call me Ram. And
Sure.
answer is like, for example, how the personalized learning works is like, for me, just like as the Abhishek has said, and as the Girish sir has said, like for example, you need to find out the capabilities of the student, but you need to see, the thing is like being an educator for past 2 years, and like what I felt, how we can implement this personalized working space is like, for example, see, we need to first of all make teachers understand that everyone is not of the same pace. Like if, for example, like we think like everyone can do the maths, everyone can do the English, science, definitely, but we need to understand everyone languages of understanding that same subject is not the same. For example, some people can understand English by just listening to it, by speaking out it, but some people, some student can understand English like by playing it out, like by acting it out. For example, if I when like from last 2 years, what I did here is like, for example, so for example, let's say you want to teach a student question mark. See, so now there is very two possible approaches. Like if, for example, one is simply telling them at the end of the sentence, if you are asking a question, put a question mark. But like for example, what you can do is like, for example, they are kids, they are not going to understand the grown-ups things. Like for example, you need to understand this. So this is what my personal feelings are. So what we did here is like, for example, in the school is like, instead of just telling the student where the question mark will come, so let's say, for example, with the higher student, like for example, let's say someone is dying, or someone got died, like koi mar gaya. So now there is a full stop in his life. That's the one way of introducing the full stop. Yes, that's very absurd way. But similarly, introducing the question mark was like, for example, teacher is becoming a question like figure, or some students are acting like a question figure. So that some students who have very difficulty in understanding ki question mark kya hota hai basically, so they can clear it through the images, they can clear it through any other medium rather than just the text which are provided in the books. So my thing is of saying out this answer is like how the personalized education works is simply this experiment with the kids. See, the teachers, they should be teachers should be provided the training. If the when the Girish sir has said ki, like the government has implemented this new education policy, but they should also provide the teachers training. Like if, for example, because ultimately it's the teachers who are going to bridge such gap. So teachers should be made sensitive first of all, ki what's the need of the personalized learning. And second thing is like, don't stick to one method of teaching, because this one method of teaching, again, the teaching from the books is very old, and now the students got this social media reference. Because definitely whatever we say, the student did a lot of social media in the past 1.5 years. So they have become very much attuned to what we can say. They are not very like textbook, they don't have like this textbook preference. They want exploration in life. So teacher need to explore whatever we may speak here ki this is personalized education and how we can do it. But it ultimately depends on the teacher's training, experimentation, giving feedback, and ultimately coming up with the model. So now the thing is like, basically what I want to say is a teacher sensitization and the teacher's training and the need for the students. Students should also be communicated how they are different from others. So that's how we can make personalized learning successful. This is what I think.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ram sir. We have Anita Bhandari ma'am in between us. And a warm welcome to you, ma'am.
Thank
Namaskar.
you.
We are on the question that how personalized learning works. I request you to extend your opinion on this, how personalized learning works.
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
It's a very important topic, which is very actually needed in this pandemic time. Personalized learning and personalized teaching. The child needs to have a bonding. Gone are the days when it was the teacher is teaching and child is learning. It was emphatic onto the child that what teacher is saying, he has to listen and obey the teacher. Now things are changing. The child knows he has many other sources through social media and all. He wants himself to be satisfied. So first, in the classroom situation, there must be a bonding between the child and the teacher. Once this bonding is developed, then I think that the child still needs motivation. Even the elderly people, they work with motivation. If we do not give them some kind of appreciation, they don't like to. Why appreciations have been there? Why rewards are there? Why prizes are there? I have seen one example of a child. He had not been doing anything in the class, and ultimately, I cannot satisfy myself that child is not doing, and I should carry it on like this. Now, what I had been doing in that I told my child that you have to write something, whatever you know, and then reward that child. If we rewarded the child, the next day he will try to increase his level. That look, I have done it, I have put in my efforts, and my efforts have been taken care. So this kind of motivation to a child ultimately take him to the apex, to the high levels. So we have to start right from the beginning. We never, sometimes what I feel that teachers, take it anticipated that this child must have learned this thing in the previous class, so I should carry on. We must make him recapitulate the previous learning with the present learning, with the present situations. Once we bring these things in our experiment, the things become, in my school, yes, I'm trying it, and these things are paying a lot to me. My children, they are doing it. I'm telling my teachers also, they are also working hard on it, and the results are coming. And I'm sure the child, because ultimately the child has to learn. Everything has to be done by the child. It will come once we make the child understand this, that what is the objective of his life. These objectives are told to the child, they pay him in the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your valuable opinion. I would like to extend the same question to Abhishek sir. Abhishek sir, what do you think about this? Please unmute yourself, sir.
Yes. So I'll start with an example wherein, for example, there is a maths teacher who has been teaching in class 10th since 10 years. So when the teacher is teaching for such longer duration, for such long span of time, so what happens is, if there is a particular question and he knows in the particular class, for example, in a class there are 30 students, so he can pinpoint that in this particular question, which all students were not able to do this question. So with experience, the teacher has gained this kind of knowledge, has gained this kind of personalized learning, where he can tell via faces whether this particular child was able to solve this question or he was not able to solve this question. So schools have been doing personalized learning from years now, but I guess there is a role of technology in it as well. So if the schools can club technology with personalized learning and can incorporate a assessment platform or a assessment technology, where for every child there is a test that he or she has to give that test, appear for that test, and according to that test, his curriculum would be defined. The questions that will be given to him would be according to his learning curve. So what I'm trying to say over here is, for a teacher to give personalized learning to 30 students is a doable thing. He can do it. But when this personalized learning, we need to impart it on a scale. For example, we need to impart it to 1,000 students at once. Then that teacher won't be able to do it. He can do it for 30 students, 15 students, but for implementing it on a scale is very difficult. So I guess in this particular manner, personalized learning can work in schools where the schools can incorporate technology via which they can find the learning curve of every child, and accordingly they can take measures to improve his learning.
Okay. Thank you so much, Abhishek sir. Thank you so much. Now let us move on to our next question, and that is, what's the long-term impact of personalized learning? Let me repeat it once again. What's the long-term impact of personalized learning? To start with, I would request Ram Anand Singhal sir. Sir, please share your views with us.
So according to me, it's like for example, what's the impact? Like, you see, seriously, in nutshell, if I say what could be the impact of personalized learning is like, if we won't be having just engineers or doctors, we will be having a lots of students in a lots of different profession, and yeah, because the thing is like, you to quote one example, like for example, so now the US has lots of drone. Take care. So but they don't have people, they don't have sufficient people to operate this drone. Like, if for example, to operate a single drone you require 30 people. So because the space is like, if for example nobody wants to go to the armed forces or whatever the thing is, because we have created such a impression on our students mind, like engineer is only good, the doctor is only good, now the CAs are only good. So the personalized education will make the students look for different career option, and they can have a fulfilling and happy life. That could be the most biggest impact on the student's life, which I believe the personalized education can have.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. I would like to extend the same question to Girish Goyal, sir. Sir, what do you think about this? I request you to unmute yourself, sir.
Sorry for that. So I agree with Mr. Ram that in the long term, personal education will improve the happiness index for the population, definitely, because we all know if we would have choice to do whatever we want to do, so that is not better than this. So it's the same applies with the learning as well. So if personalized teaching imparted on me, I would be very happy. And if I'm happy, I'm definitely successful in all the areas. So as Abhishek, Mr. Ram and ma'am suggested, if we impart and we can implement the personalized learning by mean and at the scale, because we'll discuss what are the challenge of implementation, but as on time, I just want to stick on this question that definitely if by any mean we can impart the personalized learning system effectively and can make it available to the large scale, this will definitely make a world a better place to live, because the happy mind creates happy vibes, and by that we a lot of problems, environmental or lot of what problems can be resolved. So that is, I feel that is the long-term impact on not only the oneself, it's complete planet will cherish on that. That's all.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Now, Anita Bhandari, ma'am, I would like to extend the same question to you. Ma'am, please share your views with us.
Yes, we're talking about the impact. I think we all are educationists sitting over here. Each minute of our school life is remembered by us. We don't remember our college life much, except our friend circle and all. Why? Because the kind of teaching the child gets in the school, where the children have from one person to another person, the teacher takes the child as his or her own child. When this creativity has been done between the child and this. They grow like anything, and they flourish in every field. They are establishing themselves in the different fields. They are, yes, one of the educationists was telling that, yes, why one time I was remembering that Obama is giving the masses in USA that we should be scared of the Indian people, because they are capturing the minds of Americans. They are settling throughout the world, and people say that this intelligence brain is in India. And this is only because the school culture, the personalized teaching which the children are getting, it is having a great impact and is giving the name to the nation as whole, that individually the children are well settled, they are doing very well in their fields, maybe in the IT sector or medical field or whatever field they are there, these children are excelling. This is only the result of the personalized teaching in the schools of our country.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much.
you.
I would like to extend the same question to Abhishek sir. Abhishek sir, please share your opinion with us.
Sure. So I guess coming from a tier 3 town in India, so what I've seen is in our town, I'm from Hisar area, so in our town, most of the students either take engineering or they take medical, and most of them. The trend is changing now in the last 2 to 3 years, but it has been like that only, that most of the students have take engineering or medical. So if we'll go on the personalized learning route, then we'll be having less engineers. So that is the major impact that the world will see. There are a lot of career options that a child, that a engineering student can, that a 11th, 12th student can opt for when he completes his 12th class. But due to the lack of personalized learning, I feel a lot of students are not able to choose the right career path. As in, if we can measure them on metrics apart from academics, there are a lot of metrics, emotional metrics, there are a lot of co-curricular things. So if we can motivate him to do all those things, so I guess a lot of the number of engineers that this country is churning would be very less, and there is a lot of scope in other different sectors as well. So when I did my engineering, after that I realized there were a lot of things that I could had done if I would had been guided in the right manner when I was in my 12th class or 11th class. But that was not being done. That is why most of the engineers land up doing engineering. So that is the major impact that I see. If we give personalized learning, a lot of career options would open.
Thank you so much, sir, for your opinion. I would like to extend the next question, and that is, how are schools doing personalized learning? How are schools doing personalized learning? To start with, I would request Anita Mandari ma'am to speak something on this.
You're talking about this situation or pandemic situation or the previous situation when the things were normal?
Both, ma'am, because things are going to be normal soon. I wish.
Earlier, when the normal school was running, yes, there was a set timetable for the children. The teachers were trained in the way the things have to be taken upon. But yes, from the last 2 years, the things have become very challenging. This personalized, which we talk about, which is very important for making the life of a child, came to essential for some time, because the teachers were not trained for it. They were not having any particular training that how to cope up with this online learning. But with the passage of that time and with facing those challenges, because teachers are made to face the challenges. So they accepted the challenges, they took up their profession in a very good way. And from minute to minute, we started corresponding with the children. At home, when children are not doing, now we were trying that they require some evening classes also They get fed up, continues for 5 hours studying online. Their eyes problem, medically the problems were there. So we had to make lot of adjustments, and ultimately we could win the goal, and the result was there. The children started accepting us. And when they started accepting us, result was bound to be there. The same learning continued, which we were doing it earlier in the school time. And now in the school also, our children are at ease. They find that even if they're in the school or online learning is going, the things are same. They are taken care, their needs are taken care, their proper learning is taken care. How the testing is to be done, there also, a lot of challenges were there, that how to testing is Google form. Some children are getting the opportunities, they can cheat from here, different. So we had to motivate them that this is their life. They have to accept it, and they have to. The results came. This year, we found our children, they did very well, and the results were there in both the situations, offline also and online also. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. I would like to extend the same question to Girish sir. Sir, please share your views with us.
Yeah, so in my opinion, the personalized learning means over here is different teaching style or different teaching level to the different student. That's my understanding. So I'll take in that way. So I feel that pre-COVID, that was happening up to somewhere. Though the teacher was teaching 25, 30 student or 40 student in a class, but still a teacher has had some connection with the student. और अगर किसी स्टूडेंट को कुछ प्रॉब्लम है तो वो जा करके या स्टूडेंट टीचर को पास अप्रोच करके ही कैन रिजॉल्व दैट. तो थोड़ा सा जो है ना मॉड्यूलेशन इन टीचिंग स्टाइल वाज पॉसिबल. बट विद दिस पेंडेमिक एंड ऑल दोज थिंग्स, नाउ द रियलिटी इज एक ऑनलाइन क्लास में 80 बच्चे बैठे हुए. All these schools, they merge all 4-5 section of 100 student and 125 students. And क्या टीचर पढ़ा रही है और क्या स्टूडेंट को समझ में आ रहा है. सो पर्सनलाइज लर्निंग जो हम जिस पर हम डिबेट कर रहे हैं, दैट इज ऑल गॉन इन दिस ऑनलाइन सिस्टम. नोबडी बॉदर्स अबाउट उस बच्चे को क्या समझ में आ रहा है, क्या उसको दिख रहा है मोबाइल स्क्रीन पे या अपने लैपटॉप या डेस्कटॉप स्कूल पे. दो 80% ऑफ स्टूडेंट डोंट हैव एनी इलेक्ट्रॉनिक डिवाइस. I don't know how they are accessing these online classes, but my observation and मेरी daughter खुद है. So 4 section मिलाकर के एक section किया हुआ स्कूल में, and 86 students are there in a same section. So I can't expect any personalized teaching for her. So the same situation I feel that is happening altogether pan India. So yes, definitely for educator as a leaders in education field, we are having a lot of challenge and lot of questions to be answered, that how we can bridge this gap which a student got in the pandemic. All the system, education system has been broken down. How to stitch that again? I don't know when the student will come back to the schools on a normal offline classes, maybe next month or after that. How they will react, because this is the new norm, this is the new scenario, this is the new world. So let's wait and watch and observe closely. It's onus on us as a senior educator to ensure that the students gets quickly on the track with a more and more effective learning system. That's all.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. And this is true when in this big amount, like you are saying, 86 students are learning together in one class. I don't know. Is there something about personalized learning schools are doing, or okay? So let me extend the same question to Ram Anand Singhal, sir. Sir, please extend your share your views with us.
So, lots of big stuff, and I was just listening to those big stuff, and I was thinking like, yes, there is this statement is partly true, which I believe. I don't mean to offend anyone, but this statement is partly true and partly wrong. Reason is like, for example, like we are again expecting from someone like who are themselves are not clear. Like for example, like from the Grish sir talk, I found out that like we are expecting it from the government, like if they will do something about it. So I really don't believe someone can do something about it it's if you are not able to do something about it. Like for example, like like we are saying like let's hope the situation will turn normal, and so sorry, let's hope the situation will turn normal. But like for example, as an educator, like we are calling ourselves educator, and the educator simply means the word education is derived from the word educo, like gain knowledge, gain skills, and to know something new every single day. So, for example, like we are talking about COVID, like last year we were promised that COVID won't happen next year. So after wave one, the wave two came. Now the after wave two, the wave three came. So we are again pinpointing our hope on the government. Let's hope for the wave four should not come. So now in different parts of the world, there are different studies. Some are saying like the wave three is spread by the people who are vaccinated. So I'm not on this official platform, I'm not endorsing any such kind of statement. But if the such statements are going around the world, and if the government is not answering such statements, means they are themselves not clear when the COVID will happen, will stop. So as an educator, our first priority, school first priority should be educating children, sensitizing children about their online plus offline mode. Because the student first of all need to accept that they have this online education plus offline education. Why this personalized education is not able to be is not successful in this online mode is like because the students are not themselves able to accept that they need to learn online, because every single time they are given this hope soon the situation will turn normal. It's been already 1.5 years. Like it's the time we should stop telling them, the students, ki the situation will turn normal. We should in turn tell the student it's okay. If the situation is going on, we don't know how long the situation will go on like this. We should make them practical about this. Or if the students are small, the kids, they are kids, we should sensitize the parents about this. We don't know how the situation will go on. Like for example, because we are not getting the clear answer from the governments on any part of the world. So first need to sensitize the children about their online education. It could be online, it could be online plus offline, because once the students start accepting the online mode, yes, it could be next year also, it could be the next year to next year also. Only then they can pay effort, or they will spend efforts in learning in this personalized learning, because we are on one hand we are giving them this just endless hope. Yes, one day your things will turn out normal. And seriously for me, it's like I really don't know what to say to this statement. Things will turn out normal, because no one is normal in this period of time, and we don't know when the things will be normal. So instead of giving them the hope, let's they should have hope, but we should make them accept the truth, whatever the truth is. Only then once they accept the truth, then only then this personalized learning can be implemented in this online space. I'm not saying 100% successful, because there are no guarantee that we will get the 100% result. No one is getting the 100% result everywhere, or no one can get the 100% result. If I'm going in a class and ask the student, yes, you all have need to perform above 90%. It's a very big expectation from my side. What I can do is I can provide a platform, and the student should choose. Again, the same thing is of the personalized learning. The student should choose their own activity according to their own caliber. So we should not have this hope, or should not give this hope to students. The thing will become soon normal. Yes, definitely the thing will become normal, but we should give them the truth also, because after they accept the truth, they can learn. The personalized learning can be become successful on this online platform. So from my side, what the school can do is schools should sensitize their children about the real truth, what is happening and what can happen, and they should accept their online plus offline mode right now. Like they should start accepting it. Only then we can have the results in the study.
Right.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Abhishek, sir, what do you think? How schools are implementing personalized learning?
So I won't go into the topic where how schools are implementing, but as being I'm running a technology company, so from that angle I can tell how schools can run going forward. Due to the pandemic, school pivoted to the online mode of learning. They were forced to teach online due to the pandemic. But due to it, what has happened is that schools, teachers, parents, students, everyone has got a taste of online learning. So in our school as well, what used to happen was there were batches of 30 students, and more or less it was very personalized for the student. Not according to his learning curve, his education was important to him, but individual attention was at least given. But due to this pandemic, what has happened is people have got a taste of online learning. So what schools can do going forward is they can teach in offline mode in the batch of 30 students. They can conduct the assessments in an online mode, via which the computer, the program, the software can tell where all is the student lacking, in which particular concept he is weak. And what we can do is, after the school hours are over, we can make him attend personalized classes for clearing those topics, for clearing those doubts. So this all can run in a very efficient and a low cost model. Imparting personalized education in a offline school is a very costly affair. So in that case, the fee structure would naturally increase, and more or less most of the parents won't be able to adapt to that kind of fee structure. So online, there is a lot of negativity regarding online education in this present time, but it can be a boon in increasing the hold of personalized learning, where students can learn in a batch of 30 in offline mode. They can take online assessments. The software can tell his weak concepts, weak topics, and everything. And when he goes back to his home, he can attend a maybe 15-minute, half an hour, 1 hour lecture where all his doubts gets cleared according to the assessment. So I guess after the pandemic is over, I guess 6 months down the line, 3 months down the line, or maybe let's not give hope to the students, as Ram sir said, or make them without hope. But after this online mode is gone and offline is back again in full-fledged mode with no hiccups whatsoever. So a blend of online plus offline can give a very cost-effective uh, proposition to parents and to the schools. That is what I want to say.
Thank you so much, sir, for your suggestion to the schools, and the very nice one that offline and online both can be merged, and this will be cost friendly for schools and for the parents both. Thank you so much, sir. I would like to move on to our next question, and that is how you will communicate to parents about what it means to shift to a personalized learning environment. Let me repeat it once again. How you will communicate to parents about what it means to shift to personalized learning environment. To start with, I would request Ram sir. Sir, please share your opinion with us for it.
So, how we can sensitize about the personalized learning space? See, we really need to make parents see the future space. What's going down? What's in the line after 3 years or 5 years or 7 years or 10 years? Because the parents might have this thing in their mind that after 2 years or 5 years, 7 years, the doctors will flourish, the engineers will flourish, or the charters will flourish. So first of all, if we school can sensitize parents about the future space, like what is possible in the near future, because right now if you see the Elon Musk, if you see many people, big industrials, big people, they are offering space technology like space travel. So now if they are offering such a service to the to the world, so definitely the education model is also going to be changed, and the parents can only understand what's the need of the personalized learning if they can understand what is possible in the future, because only then the school can justify, yes, they need to learn this concepts personally, as well as they need to implement this concept in the school, so that they need extra time, whatever be the fee structure. But the parents needs to be educated about the space, future space, what can possibly happen in the future. Because I just believe one thing: whatever the school do, or whatever anything do, the parents are very much concerned about their children's career. And once they know, like, what are the possible technologies of the future where their children can have a possible future, only then they will be willing to accept such a thing. Otherwise they will always think like the school is like कि हमेशा नई नई चीज़ें करता रहता है, इतनी ज़रूरत क्या है, खर्चे हैं, वो है. Especially if I talk in terms of Haryana, like small cities like Bhiwani and all, so where the people don't want to spend much money on the education. So that's why this is a parents needs to be sensitized about the future space of this world, to what can possibly happen in the world. Only then the parents will understand, and the parents can give their support to the school. Yes, you can go ahead with, like, for implementing this personalized education space. That's all.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for your valuable opinion. I would like to extend the same question to Anita ma'am. Ma'am, please share your views with us.
Yes, in teaching the child, parent and teacher, they are the two important parts which play the important role in the life of the student. Without parents, the results cannot be there. What teacher is doing in the school, time to time we need to have the PTMs or parent counselings. They are required, that what is the present scenario of teaching, how we have to go further. We have to take the parents in confidence first, either through PTMs or through parent career counseling or some kind of psychological guidance that is required. And it is the basic part, duty of the school to have this, to make them understand that what is the right path for the child. These days, parents are much dependent on tuitions. They feel that their responsibility is over. They have sent the child to school, and in the evening, what a parent has to do, they shift their burden onto the tuition teacher. They do not know, they are absolutely unaware about the performance of the child, where the child stands. They feel that they only can pay, and they try to get the education. So whenever the parents are there to me, I make them understand that we can have a cook for the child. We can have other works to be done. The clothing is to be washed, one person can be there. But as parent, it is my dire responsibility to make me aware where my child stands. What is the learning outcome of my child? I must know about it. We talk about playway methods every day. What is playway method? Playway method is that, suppose I am making my child learn something, and there are 10 spellings the child has to learn. And when I have tested the child, I found that 8 spellings my child knows very well. The 2 spellings he or she doesn't know. Now, through playway method, suppose I'm doing some work, some family time is going on, we are talking, in between the break is here, I can ask my child that just revise those 2 spellings, beta, you were not knowing about it. At night, when the child is about to sleep, we make him revise. In the morning, again, when he gets up, we make him revise. When he is boarding the bus, we make him revise. So these are the personal levels where a teacher can play a big role. And if a parent is dependent on the teacher and in the evening dependent on the tuition, I don't think so that much result comes. So first, we have to make the parent realize to own the responsibility that this is your child, you must know where your child stands. And if parent is aware and teacher is working hard, the result is bound to be there. And I found such children excelling where parents are paying their individual attention in making the child understand the value of learning. So these value-based learnings, they are required from both sides. In school, the teachers are doing, and at home, parents are sparing time for their children, which is very, very important. I feel that here we need to guide our parents that they should depend much less onto the tuitions, and they should work because the child is their responsibility. He is not anybody's responsibility at all. Thank you. I think you will understand what I want to say. That is very important in the present scenario, that parent plays a vital role in building the life of the child.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Obviously true. When a child is at his or her home most of the time, not coming to school, actually the parents are playing a vital role.
Yes.
So I would like
Yes,
to
I'm very happy the way my parents are doing. I'm very, very happy now that now the responsibility is onto their shoulders and they have taken up.
Yes, yes, that's parents has become more active in their
active,
child.
more
Yes,
aware also.
yes.
They know what is going on. They are there to take out that where their child stands. More of the one association has been created through this online classes between the child and the parent.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now I would like to extend the same question to Girish sir. Sir, please, what do you think about this?
So already we listened a lot of thoughts about that. So I just want to say that the parents already know what is mean of personalized learning, because that is the only reason. That's why these all the private tuitions are popped up in every nook and corner of the country, because parents know that my teacher is different, my teacher required a personal attention, and the school as on time they are not able to provide personal attention. That's when they need to go to the private tuition centers. So most of the urban population, if we say and we take the statistics, 80% and above students joins one or another tuition center according to their affordability and according to their convenient. So yes, on this particular question, I say that parents are already aware about what it means of the personalized learning environment. But definitely, as Abhishek and other people are visioning, seeing how we can make it more effective and a low cost. So whether we need to first understand if through an online mechanism in which we can say that the offline classes can happen, but the assessment can go online mode, and based on the results of on my online assessments we can have a customized or personalized some sessions, maybe not 100% but 10 or 15, 20 sessions, personalized session we can arrange for a student. So two things needs to be addressed on before implement that. How easily we can do that? But I think on online mechanism it's quite possible. We have done something, but the major important part is how much cost this system or this arrangement will add up to the present education expenditure to the parents. Because one thing need to be monitored very closely, that how much amount people now have in pocket so that they can spend on the students teaching or learning, because every additional things bring some cost. So I think I'm sure Abhishek must have some answer on that, so he can elaborate that. Okay, सोचना बहुत आसान है, करना सभी चाहते हैं, but who needs to fund that? So that is a big question. So before that, who need to fund that? Before that, I just want to understand with Abhishek's expert opinion that how much to be funded. So if it's a very minuscule, then definitely parent can take the burden. If not, then somehow a school system and ecosystem needs to pay for that. So over to you, Abhishek.
Sure,
Abhishek,
sir.
sir, over to you.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir. So, in India, basically, our parents are very aspirational in regards to the students, as in everyone wants the student to excel in life. For example, consider a case where there was a company that popped up after pandemic, and its name was Whitehead Junior, if I'm not wrong. So what they did was they sold ambitions to parents, as in your child can be the next top coder earning 1.5 CR in Silicon Valley. So that is they were trying to sell, and in tier 1 cities across India, people fell to that narrative, and
Yeah.
they bought courses and made their kid the Wolf Gupta and Wolf
Wolf
Sharma.
Gupta.
So
Wolf Gupta.
all of the people started running after that. But when I talk about schools, so I know it is very difficult to suggest any new program to the parent, because any if there will be any change in the fee structure, the parents would directly see to it, and they'll say why is there this hike in the fee structure. So this happens a lot of times. So what the schools can do is they can maybe conduct a lot of test of students, through which they can track that what kind of career path would be good for this particular student, what kind of career path would be good for the other student. And in that case, what they can do is they can call the PTMs that they were doing from ages, and then they can suggest the similar courses to parents, that if the if your ward will do this particular course, then it is very highly likely that he'll become this person, he'll do excel in life. So what we need to do is what a school based out of tier 2 tier 3 town across India needs to do is they need to copy the model of big corporates such as Whitehead Junior. They need to tell the parents that your kid has the potential to become this particular thing in life. We have conducted a lot of assessments of your student. We know your student personally. We know his learning curve and what he can do. So in that case, if the school pushes courses, why they can be online mode, they can be in offline mode, and if they are in online mode, then they comes with a budget, a low budget. So in that case, I guess parents can be convinced, and they can make their wards do different courses via which they can eventually succeed in life, and that can eventually increase the happiness index that Girish ji talked earlier in the show.
So that means one more Wolf Gupta needs to be there, huh? Who will save all of us? Huh?
Right.
Thank you, Abhishek.
Thank you, Abhishek sir, for your suggestion. And as today we all have agreed that personalized education is giving education to every student according to his or her learning capability. And today, in the phase of online learning, obviously it is hard, but a mix of online and offline learning can be a solution. And yes, our panel have given a lot of other suggestions as well for the issue. So now I want to thank you all. Thanks to all the panelists. Today's talk show was extremely interactive and informative. And a special thanks to the parents and all the viewers who has been with us. Thank you for taking out for your valuable time for such a fruitful session. Thank you so much, all the panelists. Thank you, Ram Anand Singhal sir. Thank you so much, Girish sir. Thank you so much, Anita ma'am. And thank you so much, Abhishek sir. Now, with this, I, Harshita Gupta, on behalf of School Log, signing this session out. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Harshita. Thank you, Abhishek.
Thank you.
And I was just
Thank
one
you,
word I want. Thank you, School Log, for conducting and bringing a fantastic panelist on this platform. Definitely, I enjoyed and
Thank you,
I got a many perspective about this topic. Thank you. Thank you again.
Okay, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Ji.
Thank you. It's been wonderful, Abhishek ji. It's been great of you. Thank you.
Thank you.